Hi, guys. So today I'm going to share something that I don't normally put on this channel, and this is about physical fitness. And as you can tell on the screen, barefoot running. Um, I started barefoot running in 2009. I've been doing it for 14 years. Uh, Previously, I never went anywhere barefoot. I was raised in a household. Most of my family would be considered hillbillies. And if you didn't have shoes, that was a sign of poverty. So I was raised with shoes on my feet all the time. Same in the military, same on the fire department. In 2009, I received a book from a friend. She was like, "Oh, you have to read this. It's called Born to Run." And I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about the book, but basically, it talks about um, learning to run without shoes and strengthening your feet up, trying to get rid of any ideas of or any problems with injuries and things like that. Learning to biomechanically run better. Read it, thought it was crazy, but it also, kind of spiked my interest. And that evening at the fire station, I grabbed a radio, put on my sweats, and went to run around the block barefoot. Well, the one block run turned into a mile, and when I finished, my feet were on fire. I had a couple blisters, and I was curious. It struck a chord with me that this is something I should be able to do. So I spent the next 6 months relearning how to run. At the time, I was not a runner at all. I ran in the military because you had to, and that was your punishment. Uh, but other than that, I never ran. But the 6 months it took to learn how to run barefoot correctly. And when I say that, I mean, no matter how tough your skin is, it's really a matter of friction. If you're running on asphalt or concrete, you're never going to be tougher than that. So you have to be able to run in such a way where you're not generating friction as you go. And so it takes a while to learn that. But by the time I had learned it, I was really enjoying being able to run. And I kept running. A few months later, signed up for a 10K, ended up running a half marathon. And it was my first race. I didn't know any better, and I was having fun. But I wore shoes, and when I say shoes, I wore your normal, crunch your toes up towards the end, New Balance, with arch support and all this other stuff. Well, by the time I was done with the half marathon, my feet were toast, blisters and everything else. I had socks on and all that, but I was embarrassed to go out and run barefoot. I didn't want anybody to see. Um, so after the race, I I had a good time. I really enjoyed myself. And so I wanted to do more, but that was the last time I ever wore conventional shoes. Since that time, I've run over 60 races. I'm not exactly sure how many. Uh, 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, 50Ks, and 50 milers, and 100 milers. Um, and it's really cool. If you run 100 miles, they give you a buckle. So anyway, and I've done this in all different types of footwear. Like for the tennis shoes, I used to run with Ultras. They were very wide toe box, and they did a great job. I've done a lot of them in sandals like this for the Ultras, and these are Lunas, and they do a great job. The farthest I've gone completely barefoot was the Heart of America Marathon in Columbia. Ran that barefoot, and I've used the Vibram Five Fingers before. They were okay. So I've ran these races. It's been 14 years. I don't have any ankle pain. I don't have any knee pain. I don't have any hip pain. I just turned 50. And I really feel like the fact that I took the time to learn how to run barefoot and learn how to run biomechanically correctly has saved me injury, and it's increased my joy of running immensely. So I want to send you guys to give you guys some information, places where you can look to learn about this yourself. You don't have to buy anything, and you don't have to buy into anything. Look up Barefoot Ken Bob, or Ken Bob Saxton. He's was one of the first guys who really got notoriety and was talking a lot and giving classes on running barefoot. There's some barefoot forums and stuff like that online, but don't fall into the trap of, okay, I'm going to buy some barefoot shoes. I'm going to learn to run barefoot that way. That's not how it's going to, that's going to lead to injury, I think, my opinion. Also, don't run in grass and don't run in sand. And the reason I say that, if you're running in grass on a park, it's nice and it's soft and it's cushioned, and you don't know what's underneath those leaves. You don't know what's underneath the grass. There could be dangers there. There could be things you could step on. Also, if it's nice and it's soft, you're not having to change the way you run. I have seen at races guys wearing like the Vibram Five Fingers or some other type of barefoot shoe, and you can literally hear them coming a half a mile away because they've never changed how they ran, and they were still hitting their heel. Whenever I land, and you can probably see it in the video, I'm touching it right about here first, because your foot kind of naturally comes down at this angle. I'm touching here, and I'm rolling over the pad of the foot. The last thing to touch is my heel, and that's just a little bit. To run correctly, you never push off of the ground. Only thing I'm ever concentrating on is lifting. All right. You want no friction, because, again, it doesn't matter how tough your feet are, your skin is not going to win against concrete or asphalt. However, if you're running correctly, it's not an issue. When I finished this 5-mile run that you're seeing in the video, I didn't have a single hot spot, a single blister, or anything. Just had dirty feet. Well, you go take a shower and clean them off. Avoid barefoot shoes initially. Avoid grass, avoid sand for the same reason. Sand's the same reason as grass. It's not making you change the way you run, and it's not safe, because you don't know what you're landing into. My preferred stuff to run on, number one, is concrete sidewalks. It's great because I can see what's out there in front of me. I know what I'm about to land on, and there's not any surprises. Asphalt's great too. I like asphalt. Asphalt doesn't give quite as good a rebound as concrete does, but it's still good. Running on, like you saw at the beginning of this video, you saw me running on a dirt road with a lot of rocks. Whenever your roads, asphalt, concrete, they're all like ice cream. They're different flavors. Some flavors really tasty, some flavors not so much, and you learn to adjust accordingly. When I was on the road, I shortened my stride a little bit, and I just picked where I had to go. It's kind of like a dance, and I can't dance, but I can do that. Picked myself right down the road until I got into the dirt trail. The dirt trail's fine. It feels great. The dirt trail feels wonderful, but I'm always a little more skittish because that ground, there could be stuff sticking out and some things like that. So I'm always pretty cautious on dirt. When it gets to asphalt, concrete, at least then I can see exactly what I'm dealing with. In 14 years, I have never had a puncture. I think I've had a couple of little thorns just in the side. Nothing major. I mean, nothing more than what you just reach down, pop a little thorn out. And that was running straight trail. I've never had a piece of glass cut my foot while I was running. Um, and once I learned how to run, I don't like get blisters or anything like that. Now, the bottom of my feet are more calloused now, but it's not like, you know how most folks on the side here of their big foot, they get the big old callus. It's not like that at all. Matter of fact, I used to have those, and still until I started running barefoot, in which case they went away because I was changing the footwear I was using. I stopped trying to cramp my toes into modern shoes, and so that big old callus went away. And what is on the pad of my foot is thicker skin, but it's not like a callus. Speaking of which, if you do end up trying this out, and I really would encourage you people to do this. One thing that you will see is that normal footwear ain't gonna cut it anymore. You put me in a normal foot with arch support, and I'm toast. My arches are used to moving and flexing. You put something underneath me, it's going to hurt me. I can't handle anything with like cramped toes. So, like for hiking, or if I'm up in the mountains and camping and I need to wear footwear to protect my feet from insects or whatever, I have these. These are Soft Star shoe switchbacks, and I've had them for about 6 or 7 months now. And you can see they're cut wide. And they roll up. They're completely flexible. Uh, Really good boot. I'm going to do a review on these now that I've gotten some time with them. But in over 6 months of use, there's not a single stitch that's come loose. So I like these a lot. But you'll find yourself going where the old style of footwear is not going to work anymore. You're going to want things that are where your foot can flex and move and your toes can spread a little bit. I've got a picture. I'll show you here. You see that the right foot is when I was in the Army. I was about 18, 19 years old. And this was before I ever took my shoes off my feet. The day before I had broke my big toe. And that day I had just completed, we had to do our like once every 4 month 12 mile road march. And so I just got through doing that, and that's why that nail's black. But point being, on the right hand is my foot at 18, 19 years old, and then on the left hand is currently. And you'll see that my feet, the toes, like on the right foot, are all squished. But that's the way they always stayed. But now they stay open. Much more stability and flexibility. Whenever I walk over rough surfaces, it doesn't hurt me now. Used to, oh gosh, send you through the roof. I mean, the idea of walking on rocks or gravel, couldn't do it. There ain't no way. Now it's not that big a deal. So anyway, if you guys have any interest in this at all, I would really suggest looking into it. It's made a very positive influence on my life. It's made a positive influence on my physical fitness, and it taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, always moving in that forward direction. These things add up, and these things matter. Because as we get older, how you take care of yourself is important, and how you've taken care of yourself is important. So anyway, food for thought. I know this video is a little different than what most of my videos are, but this is something that's important to me, and I had to share. Anyway, guys, take care. God bless. I'll talk to you later.